The air recyclers made a loud grinding noise that echoed through the metal halls of Novoprime. June frowned as he walked past them. That sound was new, and new sounds were never good. June was the administrator of Novoprime, a title that once meant power and respect. Now it just meant he would be the one to tell everyone when they would die. "How bad is it?" he asked, stepping into the control room. Hyun looked up from her screen, dark circles under her eyes. She had not slept in 2 days, trying to keep the colony systems running. "The main air system will fail in 2 weeks, she said. "Maybe 3 if we shut down the east sector completely." June nodded. He had expected bad news. He had not expected it to be quite so bad. Novoprime had once been important. The mining colony had shipped valuable minerals to the Galactic Confederation for over 50 years. The Korean workers had built homes here, raised families, created a community. Then the easy minerals ran out. The Confederation ships came less often. Supply deliveries grew smaller. 6 months ago, the last official ship had left. They promised to return with supplies. They never did. "Administrator June," a voice called from the doorway. Medical Director Subin stood there, her face tight with worry. "We lost 2 more in the night. The medicine stores are almost gone." June closed his eyes for a moment. "That made 5 deaths this week." "Call the council together," he said. "We need to make plans." 2 hours later, 8 people sat around a metal table in the colony's meeting room. They were the leaders of Novoprime now, though there was little left to lead. "We must face facts," June said. "The Confederation has abandoned us. They will not return." No one argued. They had all seen the emptying storerooms, the failing equipment, the growing list of the dead. "How long do we have?" asked Ta, the head of food production. Hyun placed a tablet on the table. Charts and numbers glowed on the screen. "Life support is failing section by section," she said. "Food supplies will last maybe 4 months if we cut rations again. But the air systems," she paused. 3 months at most before complete failure." The room grew silent. 3 months, over 5,000 people, and only 3 months of air. "We must try one more time," said Dai, the communications officer. "One more message to the Confederation." "They do not answer," Jun said. "We have sent 12 messages already." "Then we break protocol," Daz said, leaning forward. "We broadcast on all channels, not just the official ones. Someone must hear us." "That's against Confederation law," Subin reminded him. "We will all be dead in 3 months," Hyun said flatly. "I do not think we need to worry about their laws anymore." June looked around the table. These were his friends, his colleagues. Beyond these walls were thousands of people who trusted him to keep them safe. He had failed them. "Do it," he told Da. "Send the message on all channels. Tell them exactly how much time we have left." After the meeting, Jun walked to the observation dome. It was empty now. Few people came here anymore. Why look at the stars when they only reminded you that help was not coming? The stars shone cold and distant above the dome. Somewhere out there was the Confederation that had promised to protect them. Somewhere out there were the ships that would never return. June pressed his hand against the cold glass of the dome. "They left us to die," he whispered to the empty stars. "They left us all to die." He did not expect an answer. The stars had been silent for 6 months. He did not know that beyond those stars, a ship unlike any the colony had ever seen was about to pick up a desperate signal from a forgotten world. The communications center was cold. Da had shut off the heating to save power. His breath made small clouds in the air as he worked. "This is Novoprime Colony calling any ships within range," he said into the transmitter. "We are facing complete life support failure. We have 3 months of air remaining. 5,000 colonists need immediate evacuation. Please respond." Day repeated the message. Then he did something that would have cost him his job 6 months ago. He switched the transmitter to broadcast on all frequencies, civilian channels, military vans, even the frequencies reserved for races that the Confederation called primitive. It was against every rule in the book. The Confederation controlled all communication between star systems. They didn't want their colonies talking to outsiders. But Day didn't care about rules anymore. Not when everyone he knew would be dead in 3 months. He set the message to repeat automatically, then leaned back in his chair. The communications center felt empty. Once, 15 people had worked here in shifts. Now it was just him. Day didn't expect an answer. The nearest Confederation outpost was a 2-month journey away. Even if they received the message today and left immediately, they would barely arrive in time. And why would they come now when they had ignored all previous messages? Hours passed. Day stayed at his post, checking and rechecking the equipment. The transmitter was old. If it failed, they wouldn't even have the comfort of shouting into the emptiness. Night came to the colony. Most people were already asleep, saving their energy. The reduced rations made everyone tired. Day was about to leave when a light blinked on his console. The receiver was picking up something. He quickly adjusted the controls, heart pounding. Static filled the room, then cleared. Novo Prime Colony, this is UES Horizon. We have received your distress call. Please confirm status and coordinates. Day stared at the console. The voice didn't sound like any Confederation officer he had ever heard, and the ship name, UES Horizon, didn't follow Confederation naming patterns. His hand shook as he pressed the transmit button. This is Novo Prime. We confirm distress. Life support failing. Approximately 5,000 colonists need evacuation. There was a pause before the response came. Understood, Novo Prime. We are calculating your position now. Our preliminary estimate shows we can reach you in 5 days. Please confirm your exact coordinates. 5 days. That was impossible. No Confederation ship could travel that fast. Who are you? Dai asked, forgetting protocol. A laugh came through the speaker. It was a warm sound, surprising in its humanity. Sorry, I should have been clearer. This is Captain Nina Kim of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We're a human exploration vessel mapping systems beyond Confederation space. Day felt dizzy. Humans. Everyone knew about humans. They were newcomers to space, barely able to reach nearby stars. The Confederation considered them primitive, hardly worth noticing. How can you reach us in 5 days? He asked. Our drive technology is different from the Confederation standard, Captain Kim replied. Don't worry about the details. What matters is we can help. Day's finger hovered over the emergency alert button. This could be a trick, a pirate ship looking for an easy target. But what choice did they have? The Confederation doesn't allow other species to interfere with their colonies, he warned. With respect, Captain Kim said, her voice firm, we don't answer to the Confederation. We answer to our conscience, and we don't leave people to die. Dad pressed the emergency alert. Within minutes, June and the other council members would be woken. 5 days, he said, as much to himself as to the voice from the stars. We'll be waiting. As he waited for the council to arrive, Dai kept thinking about the captain's name. Kim. That was a Korean name. Could there be some connection? For the first time in months, he felt something dangerous growing in his chest. Hope. For 5 days, the people of Novo Prime waited. Many didn't believe the message. Why would strangers help when their own Confederation had left them to die? Jun ordered the landing field cleared. It hadn't been used in 6 months, and dust covered everything. What if it's a trap? Subin asked, as they walked the empty field. Pirates sometimes trick colonies this way. Then we died fighting instead of slowly running out of air, Jun said. At least that would be quicker. On the 5th day, the colony's old sensors picked up a ship entering the system. It moved faster than any ship they had ever seen. Hyun watched it on the tracking screen. That's not Confederation design, she said. I've never seen anything like it. Everyone who could walk came to the landing field. They stood in silence as a bright light appeared in the sky. It grew larger until they could see the shape of a ship. It was sleek and white, without the boxy design of Confederation vessels. The ship landed softly in the center of the field. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then a door opened on the side. 3 people walked out. They wore simple blue uniforms without the complex rank markers of Confederation officers. The woman in front was short with dark hair. June stepped forward as the colony's leader. The woman from the ship did the same. "I am Administrator June of Novo Prime," he said. The woman smiled. "Captain Mina Kim of the UES Horizon. We received your distress call." Her face looked similar to many in the colony, but her accent was different. Not like the formal Confederation standard that everyone used for official business. "You're human," June said. It wasn't a question. "Yes, all of us on the horizon are human," Captain Kim replied. "We were mapping uncharted space when we picked up your signal." June noticed the people behind him moving closer, drawn by curiosity. "The Confederation will not be happy about this," June warned. "They don't allow other species to interfere with their colonies." Captain Kim's smile faded. "With all respect, Administrator, the Confederation abandoned you. They lost any right to decide your fate when they left 5,000 people to die." Murmurs spread through the crowd. No one had ever heard anyone speak about the Confederation this way. "We've brought emergency supplies," Captain Kim continued. "Food, medicine, and parts for your life support systems. My engineers are ready to help with repairs." "Why?" The question came from Subin, who had pushed to the front. "Why would you help us? What do you want in return?" Captain Kim looked confused. "You needed help. That's reason enough." Many in the crowd looked skeptical. In the Confederation, nothing was free. Everything had a price. "I understand your caution," Captain Kim said. She touched a small badge on her uniform. "My grandmother's family came from Korea on Earth. When I heard Korean names in your distress call, I felt a connection." Hyun stepped forward. "Korea? That was an old Earth nation. Our ancestors came from there, before the Confederation found us." "Yes," Captain Kim nodded. "Many Koreans left Earth centuries ago. We thought they were lost. Finding you here, it's like finding family we didn't know existed." She gestured to her ship. "We have room to evacuate everyone. If you wish to leave, Earth will welcome you." "And if the Confederation objects?" June asked. Captain Kim's expression hardened. "Then they'll have to deal with Earth. Humans don't abandon people in need, especially not our long-lost cousins." For the first time in months, June felt the heavy weight on his shoulders lighten slightly. "Show us these supplies," he said. "Then we can talk about what comes next." 3 days after the human ship landed, Novo Prime felt different. The air smelled better. The lights were brighter. People walked with more energy. The humans had brought not just supplies but also hope. Hyun worked with the human engineers in the main power room. She watched as a human named Raj fixed machines she thought were beyond repair. "How did you learn to do this?" she asked, handing him a tool. Raj smiled. "Humans have always been good at fixing things. On Earth, we say necessity is the mother of invention. When you need something badly enough, you find a way to make it work." Hyun thought about the Confederation. They never fixed things. They replaced them or abandoned them. "Your technology is different from ours," she said. "Not better in every way," Raj admitted. "But we took a different path. The Confederation likes standardized systems. Humans like to experiment, try new ideas." In the medical center, Subin watched the human doctor use medicines she had never seen before. "This will help with the radiation sickness," the doctor explained, showing her a small blue pill. "We developed it for our Mars colonies. The Confederation told us these symptoms couldn't be treated," Subin said, looking at the patients who were already showing improvement. The doctor looked troubled. They were wrong, or they lied. This thought disturbed Subin. Had the Confederation withheld treatments that could have saved lives? In another part of the colony, young Jin showed a group of human crew members around the farm sector. At 16, Jin had never known any home but Novo Prime. "These plants are from our old home," he explained, pointing to rows of vegetables. "We've grown them for generations." A human woman named Olivia bent down to look closer. "That's kimchi cabbage. My grandmother grows this on her farm in New Seoul." "New Seoul?" Jin asked, confused. "It's a city on Mars," Olivia explained. "Many Koreans moved there during the early Mars colonization. They named their cities after places on Earth." Jin had never heard of Mars. The Confederation education program taught little about Earth or its colonies. "Tell me about Earth," he asked eagerly. "And Mars, and your other colonies." The humans shared stories of blue oceans, green forests, and red Martian deserts. They talked about human cities, music, and food. Jin listened with wide eyes, imagining worlds he had never seen. That evening, Captain Kim invited the colony council to dinner on the horizon. The ship's meeting room was warm and comfortable. The table held food the colonists hadn't tasted in years. "This meal includes dishes from Korea on Earth," Captain Kim explained. "Foods your ancestors might have known." Jun tried a spoonful of soup. The taste brought tears to his eyes. It was like a memory he didn't know he had. "My grandmother made something like this," he said quietly. Captain Kim nodded. "Our cultures diverged when your ancestors left Earth, but some things remain the same. The value of family, the importance of community, the belief that we must help each other to survive. The Confederation doesn't share these values," Hyun said. "No," Captain Kim agreed. "They believe in hierarchy and efficiency. They discard what they consider unprofitable." "Like us," Subin said bitterly. Captain Kim looked at each council member. "Earth is offering your people a home. But we respect your choice. If you want to rebuild here, we'll help with that too." June considered her words. The offer was generous beyond anything he had expected. But before he could respond, an alarm sounded from the ship's control panel. The first officer rushed in. "Captain, we've detected a Confederation vessel entering the system." The warmth of the evening vanished. Reality had arrived. Everyone rushed to the Horizon's bridge. On the main screen, they could see a Confederation patrol ship approaching. It was much larger than the human vessel. "They're hailing us," said the communications officer. Captain Kim nodded. "Put them through." The screen flickered, and a man in a gray Confederation uniform appeared. His face looked Korean, like many of the colonists, but his expression was cold. "This is Captain Wook of the Confederation Patrol Vessel Enforcer. Unidentified ship, you are in violation of Confederation space. State your purpose." Captain Kim stepped forward. "I am Captain Mina Kim of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We responded to a distress call from Novo Prime Colony." June felt a jolt of recognition. "Wook, Han Wook." The Confederation captain's eyes widened slightly. "Administrator June, I did not expect to find you still alive." "You know him?" Captain Kim asked quietly. "He was born here," June explained. "He left 10 years ago to join the Confederation fleet." On the screen, Captain Wook's face hardened again. "Human vessel, you are ordered to depart immediately. Interference with Confederation colonies is prohibited." "We're providing humanitarian aid," Captain Kim replied. "These people were abandoned and facing death. The Confederation handles its own affairs," Wook said coldly. "Your presence is unwelcome and illegal." Hyun stepped forward, unable to stay silent. "Unwelcome? You left us to die. The humans are the only ones who came when we called for help." Wook ignored her. "Administrator June, the Confederation has decided to re-establish presence on Novo Prime. You will prepare your people for inspection. Anyone who has collaborated with these humans will face questioning." The threat was clear. June looked at the humans who had saved them, then back at the man who had once been part of their community. "Why now?" June asked. "Why return after abandoning us?" Wook's expression didn't change. That is not your concern. You will comply with Confederation directives. Captain Kim stepped closer to June. You don't have to do this, she said quietly. We can evacuate your people before they dock. Silence. Wook snapped. Administrator June, be advised that any attempt to leave with these humans will be considered treason. The punishment is death. The bridge fell silent. Everyone looked at June. As administrator, his decision would affect all 5,000 colonists. What guarantee do we have that the Confederation will actually help us this time? June asked. Our life support was failing. People were dying. You ignored our calls for 6 months. Circumstances have changed, Wook said. The Confederation now requires Novo Prime to remain operational. Subin gave a bitter laugh. They found something valuable here, didn't they? Something they want to mine. Wook's slight frown confirmed her guess. Human vessel, he continued. You have 6 hours to depart. After that, we will consider your presence an act of aggression. The screen went black. Captain Kim turned to June. It's your decision. We can leave as ordered, or we can help your people. Earth will stand by you. But I won't lie. This could turn into a serious conflict. June looked around at his fellow colonists. Hyun, who had worked tirelessly with the humans to repair their systems. Subin, whose patients were finally recovering thanks to human medicine. Young Jin, whose eyes had been opened to a universe the Confederation had hidden from them. Then he thought of the 5,000 others, people who had been ready to die just a week ago, people who now had a chance for a new life. Captain Kim, Jun said, his voice firm. On behalf of the people of Novo Prime, I officially request asylum from Earth. He turned to face his council members. Prepare our people for evacuation. We're leaving with the humans. The colony became a place of quick movement and urgent voices. People packed only what they could carry. Children were told to leave toys behind. Old people were helped to gathering points. In the communications center, Dae sent a message to Earth. Captain Kim had given him special codes to make sure the message would reach human leaders quickly. Will your government really help us? Dae asked, after sending the message. Yes, Captain Kim said. Humans don't abandon people in need. It's one of our strongest beliefs. On the horizon, Captain Kim met with her officers. The enforcer outguns us 5-1. We need to buy time until Earth can respond. We could try to run, her first officer suggested. Our engines are faster. Not with 5,000 colonists on board, Captain Kim said. We would be too slow, and they would catch us. In the colony control center, Hyun worked with Raj and other human engineers. They looked at the colony's old defense systems. These weapons haven't been used in years, Hyun said. The Confederation never expected us to need them. Raj studied the control panel. We can get them working again. They won't stop the enforcer, but they might slow it down. Outside, the colonists formed lines to board shuttlecrafts. The horizon could not land enough shuttles to take everyone at once. It would take many trips. Jin helped an old woman with her small bag. Don't worry, he told her. The humans will protect us. The old woman looked doubtful. No one has ever stood against the Confederation, she said. Jin thought about the stories the humans had told him. The humans are different, he said. You'll see. In the medical center, Subin and the human doctor prepared patients for travel. Some of these people are too sick to move. Subin worried. We'll take the most serious cases first, the doctor said. The horizon has better medical facilities than this colony. The 6-hour deadline was almost gone when Dae made an important discovery. He had been monitoring Confederation communications when he intercepted a message between Captain Wook and his superiors. He rushed to find June and Captain Kim, who were overseeing the evacuation. I know why they came back, Dae said, breathing hard from running. I intercepted their communications. They found a new mineral in the planet's core, something called stellarate. Very rare and very valuable. That's why they suddenly care about Novo Prime again. So they abandoned us when they thought we had nothing of value, Jones said bitterly. And now they return for rocks, not people. Captain Kim's face showed disgust. This confirms what we suspected. A loud alarm sounded. On screens throughout the colony, they could see the enforcer moving into position above them. "The 6 hours are up," Captain Kim said. The communication system crackled. Captain Wook's voice filled the colony. "Novo Prime Colony, this is your final warning. All evacuation activities must cease immediately. Any shuttle attempting to reach the human vessel will be fired upon. Administrator June, you have 1 hour to surrender yourself and the human captain, or we will begin military action." June looked at the worried faces around him. Nearly 1,000 colonists had made it to the horizon, but 4,000 remained. "He's bluffing," Hyun said. "They want the Stellarite. They won't destroy the colony. They might not destroy the buildings," Captain Kim said grimly. "But they don't need all of you alive to mine the mineral." Dad's console beeped. A new message was coming in, not from the enforcer, but from somewhere much further away. "It's for you, Captain," Dad said, looking surprised. "It's from Earth." Captain Kim read the message. For the first time since the Confederation ship arrived, she smiled. "Tell your people to be ready," she told June. "Help is coming." Captain Wook stood on the bridge of the enforcer, looking down at the colony. His face showed no emotion as he gave the order. "Target the landing field. Fire a warning shot. Let them see we are serious." A bright beam shot from the enforcer. It hit just outside the landing area, leaving a smoking crater. The message was clear. The next shot would not miss. In the colony control center, Jun watched with the others as dust rose from the crater. "They really will kill us," Subin whispered. Captain Kim checked her watch. "We need 30 more minutes," she said. "Until what?" Hyun asked. "You'll see," Captain Kim replied. She turned to June. "We need to keep evacuating. Every shuttle that reaches the horizon is more lives saved." June nodded. "Continue the evacuation," he ordered. "But only volunteers on the shuttles. I won't force anyone to risk their lives." To everyone's surprise, more colonists stepped forward. They would rather risk death trying to escape than live under Confederation control again. 2 shuttles lifted off, racing toward the horizon. The enforcer's weapons locked onto them. "Sir," said one of Wook's officers, "should we fire?" Wook hesitated. These were his people, even if they had chosen the humans over the Confederation. Before he could decide, alarms blared across his bridge. "Multiple jumps detected," shouted his sensor officer. "Ships entering the system." Space seemed to ripple as 1, then 3, then 7 new ships appeared around Novo Prime. They were all human vessels, each larger than the horizon. Their design was different. These were not exploration ships. They were warships. On the biggest ship's side, large letters spelled out UESCO. "Sir, we're being hailed by the human fleet," said Wook's communications officer, his voice shaking. Wook's face had gone pale. "Put it through." A new face appeared on the screen. An older woman with short gray hair and determined eyes. "This is Admiral Song of the United Earth Defense Fleet. Confederation vessel. Power down your weapons immediately." Wook struggled to maintain his composure. "This is Confederation space. You have no authority here." Admiral Song's expression didn't change. "We have received a formal request for asylum from the people of Novo Prime. Earth has recognized their right to self-determination. They are now under our protection. The Confederation will view this as an act of war," Wook warned. "Perhaps," Admiral Song replied. "But ask yourself this. Is one mining colony worth starting a war your leaders don't want, especially against an enemy whose strength you clearly underestimated?" In the colony, people watched the standoff on their screens. No one spoke. No one even seemed to breathe. "Look at the ships," Jin whispered. "They're beautiful." The human vessels had taken positions around the colony. The enforcer was completely surrounded. Day was monitoring the communications. "The enforcer is calling for backup," he said. "But the nearest Confederation fleet is 3 days away." Captain Kim smiled. By then, everyone will be safely evacuated. On the Enforcer, Wook made the hardest decision of his life. He had been born on Novo Prime. He had believed in the Confederation, in their rules and order. But now he saw the truth. To the Confederation, he and his people were just tools to be used and discarded. "Stand down weapons," he ordered. "We will withdraw to a safe distance and await instructions from command." His officers looked relieved. They had all seen the human warships. They knew they could not win this fight. In the colony control center, cheers erupted as the Enforcer's weapons powered down. The ship began moving away from the colony. "We did it," Hyun said, her eyes wide with disbelief. Jun turned to Captain Kim. "Your people came. You kept your promise." "I told you," she replied. "Humans don't abandon those who need help." The evacuation could now continue safely. The human fleet had arrived. 6 months had passed since the day the human fleet arrived at Novo Prime. The colony looked different now. The buildings shone with fresh paint. The gardens grew with new plants. The air systems hummed quietly and efficiently. June stood on a viewing platform, watching ships land and take off from the expanded landing field. Some carried supplies, others brought visitors. A few took colonists to Earth or other human worlds. Captain Kim, now Ambassador Kim, joined him on the platform. She wore a formal uniform with a small pin showing Earth and Novo Prime side by side. "The last group of medical patients left for Earth this morning," she said. "They should make full recoveries there." June nodded, and 300 new families arrived yesterday, all of Korean descent. After the standoff with the Confederation, Earth had announced that Novo Prime was under human protection. The news had spread quickly. Korean families from Earth and Mars had immediately volunteered to settle on Novo Prime. They wanted to meet their long-lost cousins. The Confederation had protested loudly at first. They claimed the colony and its valuable stellarite belonged to them. But faced with Earth's determination and growing fleet, they had eventually agreed to talks. "How are the negotiations going?" June asked. Ambassador Kim smiled. "Better than expected. The Confederation has finally accepted that Novo Prime is an independent colony under Earth protection. They've agreed to a mining treaty that benefits everyone." "They never offered us such a treaty," Jun said. "They never saw you as equals," Ambassador Kim replied. "That's the difference between the Confederation and Earth. We believe all people deserve respect and freedom." Below them, a group of children played in a new park. Colony children with their Earth cousins, learning each other's games and songs. Hyun approached, carrying data tablets. Since the humans arrived, she had become the colony's chief of technology. "The new power system is online," she reported. "We're now operating at full capacity." "What about the defense systems?" Jun asked. "Fully operational," Hyun said, "though I doubt we'll need them anymore. The human fleet has made it clear what would happen to anyone who attacked us." In another part of the colony, Dai sat in the new communication center. Unlike the old one, this room was filled with people and activity. Colonists worked alongside humans, maintaining contact with Earth and other human colonies. Subin had opened a new medical school with help from human doctors. Young Jin was preparing to leave for Earth, one of 50 young colonists selected for special education. They would return as teachers, engineers, and doctors. That evening, the colony gathered for a celebration. A new sign was unveiled above the main entrance: Novo Sol, Colony of Earth and Novo Prime. Joan addressed the crowd. 6 months ago, we were dying, abandoned and forgotten. Then humans answered our call when no one else would. He looked at Ambassador Kim. They didn't know us. They owed us nothing. Yet they risked conflict with the Confederation to save us. Ambassador Kim stepped forward. Earth is honored to welcome our long-lost family home, she said. Together, we will build something neither of us could create alone. The celebration continued into the night. People from 2 worlds, separated for centuries, shared food, music, and stories. Far above, the human fleet kept watch. Other ships patrolled the trade routes between Novosul and Earth. The Confederation had learned an important lesson. Humans protect their own. And now that included the people of Novoprime. In the darkness of space, 3 Confederation ships observed from a distance. On the bridge of the lead vessel, Captain Wook made a personal log entry. "I now understand why humans are different," he wrote. "They value people more than power. Perhaps the Confederation has something to learn from them after all." The stars shone down on Novosul, no longer distant and uncaring. Now they were full of promise, connection, and hope.